We are a couple days into the new year, and I wanted to kind of give an overview of what I'm looking forward to this coming year, as well as kind of recap how we did last year. I see these videos all the time, like, what are my New Year's, intentions and goals and all of that. But do we really look back on the years before and see how we actually did with those? I made a video like this last year, and so I kind of went back and just quickly jotted down a few things just to kind of give a quick recap. Spoiler alert, not much is changing for this year. There are a couple things that I want to add and continue to focus on, but nothing like extremely drastic or life-changing or anything that's going to completely 180, this shift and how the rhythms of our day. I say intentions more than goals because goals have to be specific and measurables, and intention is just something like I'm just noticing more, trying to be more, like the word says, intentional about it. And I feel like that's even becoming a little bit cliche too, but hopefully you kind of get where I'm coming from. Okay, so last year my words for the year was gentleness, flexibility, and rest. And I think I did pretty well with all of those. Definitely the resting, I was able to try to really focus on that with having, during my pregnancy last year, having the baby all summer and allowing myself to just notice when I am super tired, just stop. Flexibility, gentleness, that's been something that we've been working on throughout our whole household. And I think, I feel like we've made progress with that. Second one was keeping up with my house a little bit more, tackling clutter and things like that. We have done, this fall, we did a massive declutter of our basement and our garage, which was our homeschool room. And I wrote a list of all these things that I wanted to do. And I will say we got all of it done, except we have one little tiny closet left. Other than that, I think we did a fairly decent job of that. I would say straightening my house. I don't know if you can see behind me, but it is a mess. That's where we do school. The girls got projects and stuff for Christmas, and that's really the only place they can do it. Legos and these different puzzles and things. So I will say overall, I have implemented a system that I'm always trying to tweak, but I think it's pretty good. Did my house get a mess this year? Absolutely. But was I also able to, despite all of that, try to, for the most part in general, is it straightened up? I would say yes, pretty much. We don't let it get too long being in a state of chaos. The next one was one-on-one time with the kids. I will say this one we did not do great at this year. It's just so easy, especially when you're homeschooling and you have these activities. It's hard to, I would say it's easy to keep everybody together. It's hard because you really do have to be specific about taking that one-on-one time and taking just one child and doing something. It is something we're working on and focusing on though, but we didn't do the best with it this year, honestly. Nighttime devotions as a family. Oh, that was a big fat fail. So if it makes you feel any better, if you don't do them, we didn't either. But actually me and my husband have been talking about reincorporating them because we have just, there's just been a couple things that have been going on the past couple months in our house. And I think that is one good way to end the night, just a time of all of us being together, kind of being peaceful and serene, a time of talking and discussion and vulnerability. And I think that would be a good time of quality family time together. More Bible time, that could be improved. I have one of those through the Bible in a year Bibles, and I had planned on doing it for 2 years. So this is my second year, and hopefully I'll finish by the end of the year. It's easy. It's easy to just say, wake up and do the easy thing, which is scroll Instagram and all that stuff, which it kind of is a time waster. But yeah, I did not do as well as I hoped. Talking about YouTube and Instagram and kind of how I wanted to focus on that. And I think I feel like that I just let go of a lot, especially Instagram. I post on there when I can, and when I can't, oh well, I'm not stressed about it. YouTube, I've had to let go a lot of as well. And if I can't get to it, then that's okay. I'm really trying to figure out a good schedule for YouTube. And it's always a balance. It's a balancing act. But I will say overall, I don't have nearly as much pressure on myself for either of those two as I used to. There was a lot. I used to put so much pressure on myself, and I have thankfully let that go. So all of those are things that I want to continue into the new year, just because they're all good things to have and things that I think would benefit my life, my children's life, my husband's life, our life together as a family unit. And then just a couple things I want to add. And again, nothing extreme. I want to emphasize this. I am not a fan of, okay, we're going to go from 0 to 60, let's start and be all intense. I'm not that. You have to make small, gradual changes. So when I was, even before I got pregnant last year, with my daughter, she's going to be 6 months in a couple days. I noticed that physically I could tell, I just need to move my body more. I could tell mentally, emotionally, hormonally. I kept feeling that, you need to move more. And so I then got pregnant with her, sick, tired, you know how the whole trimester goes. But finally, when I was able to get past that hump, I did these amazing prenatal workouts. That's not the word, but you know what I mean. Pregnancy and Partum TV, I think, is the YouTube channel. I didn't go to the gym. I wasn't doing anything intense. I literally flipped on YouTube and did workouts that way. And they were 20-minute work, 20 to 30 minutes. I gradually worked my way up. I started with 15 and then started working to 20 to 30 minutes. And that was a great time. That was perfect. And then, and I did that all the way up until pretty much I had her. And then after that, I have not really been consistent in the past 6 months. Yes, we are doing walks and things like that with the girls just to get out and making sure that, that our homeschool has that every single day, no matter what, because I know how important it is. It is so easy to just say let's finish this subject and this subject and this subject. And before you know it, the day has gone by. So trying to focus on going outside. So I do walks with them, but I need something just that can build up. I'm trying to focus on, there's 4 parts of movement and exercise and physical activity. That's strength, endurance, flexibility, and balance. And so I am trying to just make sure I touch on those. I don't have hard and fast rules. I don't have things that are unattainable for me. To say I'm going to do hard cardio for, an hour, 6 days a week, that's not going to happen. So if I'm telling myself that's my goal, that's not realistic, and I'm setting myself up for failure, and then I'm going to feel bad, and what am I going to do? I'm not going to do anything. So what I need to do is, what is realistic for me? Where can I start off with? What would I like to do eventually? Maybe eventually I could do something more, but right now, where am I? So you have to meet yourself where you're at. I will say I was a dietitian before 11 years, and then studied nutrition even before that. So for years, in college and internship and all that. So adding all that together, I was just thinking about this the other day. It has been almost 20 years. I just am oh my goodness, I feel ancient of studying nutrition and teaching about it and educating and things like that. So that is just what I would always recommend. Keep your goals simple, attainable, small, and then go from, start at a small term goal to a large. Anyway, I feel like I'm getting way off topic. So that is just something that I am trying to incorporate for those four aspects. I want to be a good example of moving and not just sitting around. I want to show my daughters that, hey, it is important because it has so many different benefits. Exercise, physical activity, whatever you want to call it. I know sometimes exercise gets a bad connotation. People hate that word, but whatever you want to call it, just trying to be more cognizant of just we're eating and things like that. I like to eat organically as much as we can. I do like to make things from scratch as much as I can. I'm not as dogmatic as I used to be about it. The pendulum swings, one way to the next. I'm a little bit more in the middle about it, but just noticing hey, have you had any fruit today? How many, have you had any vegetables? Are we eating protein? And noticing that I do get plenty of healthy fats and things like that. So again, not tracking every single bite and morsel of food that I eat, having freedom within that, but just being more intentional. I will say, if you're looking for some tips to just consider, try not to think of it oh, I can't eat this and I can't have this and I need to limit this. Try to think of it as foods that you can eat, that you're trying to get more of. So everybody's always trying to get more fruits, vegetables, fiber in general, protein, I would say. I would say those are probably the main things. So if you're focusing on how can I get more of those, then it leaves a less room for you to consume some of the stuff that you're not trying to consume as much of. So I just think of having kind of a more positive mindset of it, like what can I eat and what can I consume more of? So you're not focusing on, well, I can't have this and I can't have that, which you shouldn't be doing anyway. Hopefully you're not doing that unless there's, you know, a specific dietary need for that, you know, like you have a gluten intolerance or something like that. But just to say, I can't have this cookie, or I'm so bad, or anything like that. That kind of talk is not helpful or productive. And then I think I'm going to make a whole new video on this, about kind of direction and mindset shift of my homeschool, and just a lot of stuff is just changing. A lot of wheels are turning, so I don't want to make a video prematurely. Just things are changing and things are shifting. And so I feel like that's very vague. Things have been rough, you guys. Homeschooling is not easy. It is not easy. Even if you have the best kids in the world, it isn't. It is a sacrifice, and it can be hard. Not to say it can't be great, because it is. I'm focusing on my why, and I'm fine-tuning my why. And so I'm kind of taking this year, probably the past 6 months or so, from the summer onward, and just really delving into that of what I really want my children to know, and what I hope they take out of my homeschool when all is said and done. So I will give more of a specific update on that. So hopefully you found this to be a little bit helpful. I like hearing other people's, what they're focusing on, because sometimes I get ideas from them as well. So I figured I'll share mine. I know it's not, you know, it's already past January 1st, but that's okay. I mean, it's only like a couple days past. So hopefully you still are in that mindset. I know I am. And honestly, truthfully, we always really should be. It shouldn't just be like a January 1st New Year's thing. We all should be striving to like see what areas in our life the Lord can allow us, and, you know, we can give to Him so that they can be improved upon, to improve not only our lives, but ultimately, you know, it's for His glory. So thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it. If you want to give this video a like and subscribe to the channel, I'd love that. I hope you have a great day. Talk to you soon. Bye.